welcome to another episode of If This Doesn't Work, the greatest podcast in the world. Hi.
Hello.
Allie.
Justin.
We go way back, like I was saying.
Minute.
Now like a minute and a half, 2 minutes. So we're basically childhood friends.
Mm-hmm.
Who commented on I posted something and someone put me in contact with you by tagging you on Facebook. Who was that?
You commented, have any of my Facebook friends ever done ayahuasca? And I was like, me. And then you reached out.
Because it's like there's not a whole lot of people to talk to about it.
No.
It's really pretty few and far between. So why the fuck would you do something like that, right?
Right?
Like
that's how everybody looked at me when I said I was going to do it.
That's my question to you too. It's like
let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day.
Like even having done it, it's like for you, why the fuck, you know? Because it's like normal people aren't running to do it.
No.
The normies aren't like sprinting to go puke and shit in a hut, you know, or whatever.
I couldn't get anyone to go with me.
Oh, did you go alone?
I did.
Oh, good on you. Wow. Have you ever traveled alone before?
Just like in the States. And I actually did it in the States.
Did you where? Was it like
Florida.
Is it like at a church or something?
It was called the Church
See, they do church.
Mother Church. They've actually been shut down now, though.
Okay, perfect.
Somebody died there.
Oh, shit. Damn,
no
for
more.
real?
I snuck in.
Right in there pre-death?
Uh-huh.
Oh, damn. I wonder how they died. I'd want to
From what I read, they were having a reaction because they took something that they didn't disclose that had a bad reaction, and they were having him drink lots of water. And from what I read, he died from too much
drown
water.
himself, yeah. So they tell you like that you have to be like have no other drugs in your system. I mean, they go as far as like they don't want sugar in your system. They don't want you to like cum. Like they don't want you to orgasm. Like where I went, they were like, no, you can't orgasm 2 weeks before you even come. It's like
2 weeks after.
Yeah. They're very serious about certain things. And it's like I don't know for a fact that this is going to do, have an effect, but obviously I'm gonna listen. It's like they know more than I do for sure. So it's like because some of the stuff I'm like, come on, I can't. There's certain things that I'm just like, how could this affect it? But I don't claim to know.
Right.
So how did you hear about it? Have you been knowing about it?
I have been. I started spirituality just like dabbling, I'd say about 10 years ago.
You were microdosing it then? Microdosing spirituality?
Not even. So like I'm not a saint. Like growing up in my 20s, I did all kind of crazy party drugs like Molly Percocet.
Molly sounds like a future song out here.
But, I never messed with psychedelics.
Yeah, as a
And
child
I was
or like
always
as a
afraid
youngin?
of it. I didn't take my first. Well, I tried like some mushrooms here and there, but only ate like one mushroom.
That's what I hear from people. It didn't hit.
No.
Yeah.
So I was 41 years old. My daughter was 19. She tells me she wants to do mushrooms. And
Wow.
I've already read like the psychedelic anthology. Like I've done lots of reading and research
So
and rabbit holes.
You're hit by the time
I was like,
she
all right, I'm
mentions
going to
it.
get us some mushrooms.
That's
So
awesome. Do you guys have that relationship though? I mean, you must. That's awesome.
So I did the full 3.5 for both of us.
The first time? You went 3.5?
Yeah.
Let's go, Allie.
Yeah. I don't recommend tripping with your teenage daughter though.
Yeah, holding space in that. Yeah, for sure.
She was holding space for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's mutual, right? It's like.
She's like, it's okay, Mom. Just come outside. Look at the sky. It's fine.
And how was that experience for you?
I felt really nervous because I was so concerned about her.
Yeah, I bet.
But I took some things away from the experience, but that just made me want to learn more.
Yeah.
So then I didn't touch another drug until a year later when I went to do the ayahuasca. Came back from ayahuasca, and then I just like, no, now I.
Squad. The 3.5 I like because when people talk to me about doing mushrooms for the first time, also people will ask me sometimes to hold that space for them. I don't like doing that.
No.
It feels just like a lot of pressure I put on myself, and then also like I'm hyper aware of like. It's usually like, not usually. Sometimes it'll be like. I don't know. It'll sometimes be like a girl that I'm romantically involved with, and I don't want any of my subconscious intention to like, you know what I mean? In a weird way, I just kind of want them to have their first experience at least, right? Not with me. Not that I would intentionally, do anything. It's like I'm just like hyper aware of.
But just being in their presence.
Yeah, and having to hold that space while there's this other dynamic going on, It's like I'd rather it just be You know, like I had a hot shaman when I went to Mexico, and I was like, it was distracting as hell.
I kind of set up my whole house since I came back. Like my whole life has changed since I did ayahuasca. My whole house is set up for holding space. For
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I have a lot of like sound instruments, and I got really into like energy healing and.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
So I love you incorporating those while holding space for somebody.
Definitely. I feel like, yeah, there's some type of connection there between, right, the sound and what's going on with the psychedelics.
I was into that stuff before I did ayahuasca, but then coming home and like eating LSD or mushrooms with that just took it to a whole nother level. My balls came alive. They talk to me now.
Right. What's that? So when did you do the ayahuasca? How long ago was this?
September was 2 years.
Oh wow. Okay. And so did you were researching online, or
I wanted to go out of the country. Because I couldn't get anybody to go with me. My mom was really concerned about me traveling out of the country by myself.
Relatable. My mom always thinks my organs are going to get sold every time I leave the country.
She's begging me, crying in tears. So I didn't do that, but I found the place in Florida. And my uncle lived 45 minutes away from the place.
Oh, perfect.
So I was like, this is it. She's like, I feel much, much more comfortable with that. And I'm actually really glad that I went there. It was a beautiful place, magical. I met a very interesting person there that I still actually am in contact with, and became very important for me, like integrating after, because you come home and then you're like dumped right back into the world with nobody to talk to about it. So at least I had met this person. He lived in New York, and we were able to we actually met up quite a bit to talk and like integrate afterwards.
Sure. Yeah, it's incredible some of the people you'll meet there, you know? I mean, you're like trauma bonded. It's like going to fucking war.
And the first day, and they even said, because you're all sitting around in the circle like this, and everybody's like this, and after the first ceremony, everybody's one big happy family. It just changed the whole dynamic of the place after the first ceremony. We did 3 ceremonies in 2 days.
In 2 days? Mm-hmm. How the fuck do you do 3
morning,
in 2
night,
days?
and then the next morning.
Oh my god, a morning and night?
Yeah.
Damn it, 2 a day.
I almost chickened out on the last one too, but I was like, I'm here. I paid for it.
I almost chickened out on the
it.
last one. Was your second one your most intense?
And the second one was outside, so that was really nice. The
they
other
changed
2
the
were
scenery in the. So the church thing is the loophole because it's a sacrament.
Yes.
So like you could, you know, and again, some of them are getting shut down. It's like this legal cat and mouse game currently, but there was this loophole where if you're a church and it's the sacrament, it's like, I guess, you can do whatever you want.
Part of the religion.
Yeah, it's part of their religion, which seems like a weird
here
loophole.
Without that loophole?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not illegal to have like the ingredients, but once you put them together, it is, right? Like crystal meth or fucking
mushroom spores. It's legal to buy the spores, but once I
Yeah, I got my house raided one time for growing mushrooms.
Did you?
Yeah, but it was unfounded and it all got thrown out. But yeah, they like thought I was growing mushrooms in here because I, you know. But it was crazy. Yeah, it's pretty easy to do.
Very easy.
Yeah.
And I grow mine with like tuning forks and singing bowls and.
You put some energy into them.
I do.
Wow, what kind do you grow? Albino penis envy.
I have
golden
those.
teachers, all kind of shit.
B+ is actually my favorite, my go-to.
The what?
Love B+. It's just a
know
really happy, feel good. If anybody's gonna eat them for the first time, I always recommend the B+.
Wow.
I've never had a bad time or anything like too serious or heavy come up with those. But I'm always experimenting. Purple mystics I've grown, Amazonians. Yeah,
so you're knee deep. I love that. So you went to do the ayahuasca. You went there by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You get there, and is it like, do you share a room with somebody?
So you could either, for a flat fee, stay in the pavilion, I guess, or pagoda, or whatever they call it.
Whatever the fucking word is, yeah.
On a mat, or you could pay a little extra for, it was basically a shed with a bed, and it had electricity.
That was your VIP.
And I'm an introvert, and I don't like to be around a lot of people, so I was like, I'm paying extra
I'll
for
take
the
the shed.
And I never even wanted to go in the shed the whole time I was there.
Yeah.
With the people the whole time.
Right. Probably the right move, though, just in case.
It was nice to be able to charge my phone.
Yeah, true. So you get down there. Are you nervous as fuck? Yeah.
So
and then, like,
nervous.
are you looking into, like, testimonials of people who have done it?
I read the whole psychedelic anthology, which is a book of stories from all different psychedelics. So I was reading that on the plane, and before I got there, definitely read a lot of stories from people I followed on Instagram.
And are they when you do prior to the ceremony, are they like, you know, is it this group setting where you guys are like discussing it, or is it just very like, here's the ceremony?
They showed like a little film
Okay.
beforehand, and they did talk. And we were split up into groups, so there was smaller groups.
Okay.
And
How big is your group roughly?
mine probably had about 60 people in it.
Damn.
I was in the biggest group.
Damn. That is a big ass
Yeah, it
group.
was a
60
lot of-
people tripping on ayahuasca
Yeah.
sounds
It was a huge round.
intense. Whoa.
hmm
Wow.
It was intense.
Yeah, I bet.
I was so nervous when I think they didn't want to let me take it at first because my blood pressure, they checked like all your vitals.
Oh, they
beforehand,
do?
And my blood pressure was like through the roof. I swear it's just because I'm nervous.
Yeah, you're like, please give it to me.
Yes.
Um,
I followed the whole dieta to the T too.
yeah, me too.
Did you?
Yeah.
A lot of people there said they didn't. They just didn't.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
You're gonna do this, so you spent all this money. You might only do this one time.
And
And you're like, why
it's just
wouldn't
like
you?
it's you know, the most powerful psychedelic in the world. I'm
Mhm.
like, show a little reverence.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not saying like you gotta get on your knees and pray to the shit, but like if they're saying don't jerk off for 2 weeks, bro, don't, you know, you can do it, bro.
do it.
I believe in you. I know how tough that is, but I believe in you. Yeah, people were just like, yeah, fuck that. You know, I'm like,
Mhm.
all right, you
And
know.
the people that were there puking and stuff, they're like, yeah, well, I did eat buffalo wings last night before I got here.
Did you not puke?
No. Well, I did the second ceremony a little bit.
Really?
Mhm.
So I didn't puke any of my times.
Yeah.
And it's rare because everyone is from like the bottom of their soul, as you
it
know.
was like merging with the music, like the sounds of the vomit. Was like,
It's like a fun, dude. It
Oh
literally,
my
because
God.
especially with 60 people,
60
I was with
people.
19 and it was already a symphony of gurgles and
they
burps
took some
and
people out of there for sure.
yeah.
Mhm.
Wow, how long did it last for you, or what did it feel like coming on? Are you told? So you take it and then you lay down?
I'm nervous because I only ate a full mushroom trip one time in my
That's
life at
crazy.
age 41, so I don't know.
I would have
really
drugged
what
your
to
daughter.
expect.
I'd have been like, your ass is coming with me. You started this shit.
Was she pregnant at the time? I think. No, she wasn't pregnant. At the
Maybe
time.
she should go
She
pregnant.
should have went.
Maybe the kid would have superpowers or something, you know? Sounds like a villain here, you know, story arc.
But when it came, I didn't have no idea what to expect. And they kind of told me that you could talk to the medicine, and that if you felt like things were getting intense, you could ask Mother Aya, to like bring you back down a little bit. That it was getting to be too much, and that seemed to work really well for me. At one point, I felt like I was like getting sucked somewhere dark, and that my words were being taken from me. Like I couldn't think in words. And I asked to have my words back and to please like let me down a little bit. And then it got easier, and I felt like she just like gently picked me up and took me on a journey.
Wow.
Yeah.
That first night? Wow.
So much of my childhood came flooding back.
Really?
Stuff that I would have never remembered.
Wow. Like repressed shit? Wow.
Yeah. A lot of stuff that I would have had no memory of before that. But it made my life make sense. I felt like she took me on a journey through my life and put all the pieces together and showed me that everything that has happened has brought me to where I am. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. All
That's
of these
such
things
a
in
good
your
message
life.
to get, because when it comes from psychedelics, and right, I know some people think it's just drugs and it's like chemicals or whatever it is. I've received that message, you know, on psychedelics that you're right where you need to be. But when it comes across as like so profoundly real. You know, it's not like just someone telling you, right? Because
Right.
anyone can be like, you're right where you need to be. Your struggles make it, and it's like when ayahuasca tells you or some psychedelic tells you, you're like, you believe it.
Yeah.
You actually believe it, you know? So that's incredible. So you didn't puke the first night?
No.
Scream, cry, laugh, yawn, any type of purging like that?
I did a lot. Everybody afterwards
What were you
told
up
me
to?
that they were trying to channel me. They were like, I wanted to be where you were.
Ooh,
I
you're one of
was
them lucky
calling your
ones.
name. And the guy next to me was having a really tough time with the vomiting and screaming. And the whole time I was going like this. I was making a heart with my hands and I was sending it to him. And he told me afterwards that he was calling my name because he could tell that I was sending him
Wow.
the love. Like, it was crazy. No, I was the one laying back on my mat doing Happy Baby and spinning my feet and bicycle and rocking back and forth and just having the time of my life.
Wow.
It was great.
Wow. And then so the time you did it twice a day, is it that first one or is it the second one?
Okay, so we got there, we did it the first night, then the next day we did it morning and night. So first time was just the nighttime, then we got to go to bed and sleep it off.
And how long did the ceremony last?
Some people, did they give you the option to have more?
Yes, they always gave an option for like a redosing.
So I got a redosing.
Oh yeah.
So mine was probably about 7 hours the first time.
yeah. That's the thing about the redosing. Not only the intensity, but the duration now.
Right.
Yeah. The ceremony will be done, and you'll still be in
Still be
fucking
there.
outer space.
And it was weird because when they asked for if anybody wanted, I don't even remember willing myself to stand up. It was like something willed me to stand up and get in that line.
Right.
Like, Joe, get more.
Yeah, get more. You
Like,
need more
why
of
am
this.
I standing in this line?
Why am I doing this? It tastes gross.
Just,
Like fucking acid, like coffee, like really bitter coffee mixed with dirt or something.
somebody ground up some tree bark and some
Yeah.
dirt. And, yeah.
Yeah. It's just so fucking weird. I'm just like trying to wrap my head around the whole thing.
Who
you know?
thought to take these two things and mix it together? They said the plants told them.
That's what they say. That's what they say. So you redosed the first night. Are you getting any visuals? Like, yeah. So it's not just feelings. You're
Right.
getting like visuals, eyes open, eyes closed. Or it's coming in waves.
Yes.
Yeah, the waves are weird.
I even like birthed my daughter. I always felt cheated because I had to have a cesarean, so I never got to experience childbirth, and I got to like experience childbirth.
Wow.
That was one of my big cool takeaways from it.
Whoa, that's huge.
Like,
Yeah.
she gave it to me.
The first night?
That was the outside second ceremony.
Oh. So the first night you do it, you realize, how do you feel after the conclusion of it? Are they playing music? Yeah. Are they
Yes.
singing and chanting and
Yes.
shit? Okay.
There's no shaman. They believe that you're your own shaman at this
Right,
place.
the plants are the teacher. That's what Terrence McKenna says, right?
Yeah.
Don't follow a guru, follow the plants. So they're singing. There's not a shaman, but there's facilitators,
Yes.
or is that what they call themselves? Medicine people or something?
And there was some people from tribes and like other countries that
Sure.
came in, but I don't think anybody was leading the ceremony.
Right.
There was a woman with this beautiful voice that was singing. She was walking around singing, and people with the little shakers and the drums and stuff like that.
Yeah. It's interesting the music that goes along with it. But at the conclusion of that first ceremony, how are you feeling? Like,
so much understanding and love, and just like I said, I don't really like to be around people. I wanted to be around all these people all of a sudden and talk and.
It's almost like you have to.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what the fuck? Guys, what the fuck, right? You know what I mean? Like, after
Right.
the first session, it's
Yeah.
like, guys, what the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, I don't know how many times I said, what the fuck, you know? I'm just like, what the fuck? Because even having done a lot of psychedelics, it's like ayahuasca and DMT are just in a class of their own, you know? Have you ever smoked DMT?
No.
Mm.
I want to, but no, I have not.
Well, then you will. You seem like the type that if you want to do it, you will.
I will, yes.
That's next level too, yeah. So the first night gets done, you're relieved you didn't die, no one died, right? That's another relief. Like, okay,
Yes.
I made it.
Yes.
You know, I can do this. The next day in the morning you take it. Are you fasting or something? Or are they giving you like fruit or
They
some
give
shit?
you, like
Some bullshit.
celery and cauliflower and hummus.
Yeah, the diet sucks dick. They
but I'm
barely feed you.
vegetarian anyway, so
Perfect.
it wasn't
Yeah.
too much of a change for me. But yeah,
Right.
very minimal food.
Yeah, not a lot. They don't want you choking on it while you're throwing it up. So the next day, are you nervous again going into the ceremony?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
Like, yeah. That's how I am with tattoos or anything I've done before. You know, it's like even if I've done it before, it's like nerve
Yeah.
wracking.
And now this one's going to be outside, so is that going to make it different? Am I,
Oh yeah.
did they take it easy on me the
Oh,
first time?
and-
The second time's going to be the one where
And it's the daytime.
Mhm.
Wow. See, I've never done it. All of mine were at nighttime. That's interesting. So it's outside during the day.
Laying under trees.
Wow, that's sick.
And only a few people. You actually had to pay extra for the daytime ceremony, so that was a much smaller group, maybe about only 20 of us.
How did you feel about the 20 versus the 60 for you?
For me, I was in my
Didn't
own
matter?
world.
Yeah,
I
right.
yeah.
Once you're in there, you're in there, right?
And every once in a while, I would look up and look around, and there was a lot of people struggling. Like,
Yeah.
there was some people like leaning against trees, just sweating and looking
Holding
terrified.
on for fucking every breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just went back and started,
Did you redose in the morning?
The daytime ceremony, there
They
was
didn't
not an
offer a
option.
redose,
So
okay.
I did a little more. I took a little more than,
On the first dose. Gotcha.
you could I get the one guy did like 5 cups. I didn't know what Yeah, so the first time I did 2 cups, 1 and 1. The second ceremony I did 1.5. And that was really nice for me because I was like, if I did 1 and 1, will it be different if I take 2 to start? She said, oh yeah, it'll be different. So I was like, all right, I'll do 1.5.
Yeah. Fuck. And you had an easy, like a good one the second time. Easy peasy.
Easy, all 3.
Wow.
And I really believe it was because I did all the work and I was supposed to be there. Like everything I had been absorbing and following and like just wanting to know more about for the last 10 years all culminated to me being here in this one moment and just brought it all together.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And then when you do the second ceremony and then the third ceremony is that third night and it's the same group of people as the first night?
Yes.
And how was that one? Good?
It was good. I didn't redose that time.
No.
I had met somebody there that I was really anxious to like meet back up with. So I didn't take the second dose. I just kind of was like I said, I almost skipped it.
Yeah.
So that one was over within 4 hours. I don't remember too many profound things from that last one.
Yeah. My last one was a little lackluster.
I think it's just overkill at that point.
Right. Once it shows you enough, right? It's like, what else could it show you?
I just wanted to go back and be with all the people and talk to all the people, and then they finally fed you, right? So like, go get some food.
Yeah. Finally, give me something to eat. So then you come back and you start dabbling with psychedelics. Yeah. What first? What did you like?
Well, I had never done LSD, so I got a hold of some of that, and then I found somebody that was going to DC and getting mushrooms. And then I decided I wanted to grow my own. Then we started mixing stuff. So my friend from New York would come and hang out with me for like a weekend here, a weekend there, and we just
mix
know.
What? What are you mixing?
LSD and mushrooms, sometimes some MDMA.
Oh yeah,
playing around with.
Well, what's interesting about adding MDMA to any mix, which by the way, we're not recommending you mix your drugs, but do it. The MDMA does this thing where it it's nice to you, right?
Yes.
It's like if when you add a little MDMA to the mix, it seems softer and more kind, which makes sense, right? Because it's like the love drug, and you can love yourself easier, Yeah. I like mixing MDMA.
My friend said that night that we mixed all that was more healing to him than ayahuasca.
Yeah, I believe it. I feel like mushrooms have healed me more than ayahuasca or DMT has too.
And I don't just do this in like. It's not like a party thing. That's why I'm so glad I found this at this point in my life in my 40s, because I would have totally abused it when I was younger and never taken.
I did abuse it. So I found it in my late 20s and abused it, ended up in a psych ward, like ate so many mushrooms that I ended up like spray painting my living room wall. Like it was this whole thing. It really was this whole to do. They made a very big deal out of it, Allie. I didn't even know I was fucked up though. I did the mushrooms. Everyone on the podcast has heard it 100 times, but I did the mushrooms. I came out here to the garage. I grabbed a can of spray paint. I went inside and I spray painted on my living room wall, "I am not okay." And as soon as I wrote it, like I swear I did not. I felt like I didn't plan to write it, And as soon as I wrote it, I had this like relief. It felt like this weight had been lifted because I didn't know I wasn't okay. I was just going through life, right? I'm getting up, going to work, doing the thing, whatever. I have a house, I'm doing it. And it's like, I never stopped for a second to look at my shit, and like my molestation and all this shit that had happened to me. It's like, which had been semi-addressed when I, but never really like looked at. So I don't know. It's like, I don't know that I have that revelation without the psychedelics. But at the time, it was my first time as well, like really doing them, like not in the, in a way that I'm like, oh, wow, I can get downloads from this. So then I'm like, I'm just going to keep eating them. I'm like, oh, okay, this can teach me stuff, right? Well, I want to just eat as many as I can. So I did that, and then I did that, and for a while, and then was mixing, LSD and research chemical drugs, you name it, anything that was psychedelic, I was consuming, and then ended up putting me in the psych ward. Thank God. Only thank God because it got me to stop. I don't think I needed to be in the psych ward. I just needed someone to go, hey, knock it off, slow down, buddy. And so that was helpful to me, but yeah, I feel like it's interesting how all of them are different, but can lead you to the same place. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't really understand. What do you think it is? What do you think it is? Like fucking entities? You think it's God? You think it's the universe? You think it's chemicals? Do you have any theories? I mean, Or what do you believe, or what do you hope to believe?
I believe that there is a higher power. Do I claim to know what that is, or do I want to label it? I don't feel that I need to.
Sure.
I feel it in me. I know that I can connect to it. I can tap into it.
It's an energy.
And ever since
God is
that
an
I've
energy.
come back from my ayahuasca trip, my whole life is trying to recreate that open heart presence that I had, because I know now, I believe in magic, for one. Everything magical and that you want to manifest, and everything magical that happens when your heart is open and you are truly in the present moment.
Bars.
So I'm always
That's a
trying
bar.
to recreate that. The world we live in is going to suck you right back out of it. Like, it's so hard to stay
It's
present.
a never-ending practice. That's the
Yes,
thing. It's not
daily
it's not this
practice.
linear thing where you go like, okay, now I'm present.
Right.
You know, or the
No.
people who go like, I had an ego dissolution, so now I have no ego. It's like, no.
That's
It
your
was-
ego saying that.
Anyone who says that, exactly, it's literally from ego. But it's like, maybe it dissolved at that moment, right? But you have to practice to recreate that in your day-to-day life. And you know what they say about magic? If you don't believe in it, you'll never see it.
Right.
You know? So it's like one of those things. Yeah, I don't claim to know either, but it's just after having done it, there's something going on, right?
I feel like I have, in my own practices, channeled some entities that have names, that have told me their names that I would have never known.
Is Mordecai one? Because I've been looking for him.
No, but I didn't know any. I became obsessed with the Hindu religion because one night when we were doing our ceremonies, Ganesha. Do you know Ganesha, the elephant-headed god?
Oh, the elephant one. Okay.
I didn't know who Ganesha was. I don't know anything about Hindu religion.
Yeah.
And I felt like something channeled into my body and started moving my body around. And I pictured this Hindu god because I saw that I had 4 arms. And there's Shiva, I think, has 4 arms. So in my mind, I thought Shiva, and it whispered in my ear, Ganesha. And you're supposed to whisper in the right ear of Ganesha when you're asking something. And that's the ear that he whispered his name in.
No.
So, of course, I went on this whole deep dive of now I need a Ganesha tattoo.
Yeah,
but I
for
believe
sure.
that there's definitely...
The thing about the Eastern philosophies is like they were onto something. You know? Now, I don't follow any of them to the T. I don't believe in following any man-made thing to the T, period. But yeah, Hinduism, Buddhism, there's like a lot of tenets that I have adopted into my own, you know, spiritual, you know, like my credo, you know?
Yes.
But yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, do you feel like you can communicate back and forth with them at all?
I feel like maybe if I really had all this time on my hand to practice and I didn't have to work and, you know, take care of dogs and kids and stuff, then yeah, I probably could.
Right.
But now it's more of like a random thing when I'm in my meditation. Sometimes I just feel the presence of something else and it moves through me and tells me something.
That's incredible. And it's like you have to be in your body, right,
Yes.
to know that.
Yes.
I find myself in my head a lot. So I want to do some somatic therapy and try to get more back into my body. But do you actually do meditation?
I do.
Okay. What kind? Is it just like mindful meditation? Breathing?
I like my mindful meditation, which is silence. I love using binaural beats. I've been deep diving into the Gateway Project recently. So that's what I've been. They're like 45 minutes long. It's from the CIA. Do you know what I'm talking about?
It's when they disclose about remote viewing and all that different
Well,
stuff.
there's the Gateway tapes, which is them teaching you how to do these things, and it's a process. You're basically being hypnotized into different states of consciousness. So now I've got myself to where I can think of the number 10, and once I'm in, you know, a meditative state and I think of the number 10, and I can feel my brainwaves change. I can feel my state change, and I'm in a different...
Because you've like trained your brain.
Yeah.
To
well,
connect.
The Gateway tapes.
Well, the CIA trained
yes,
it.
they did. And
You're like, my brain's actually trained by the CIA.
Now, like, I take a nap in my car. I lay down on the back seat. I think of the number 10, and within 2 seconds, like, I'm asleep.
Wow.
It's amazing what you can do with your mind.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible.
It is. It's a huge computer that you're in control of.
Well, what gets me is the placebo effect and how we're not just constantly talking about that. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? What do you mean it can heal itself if you trick it into healing itself? It's like, well, what are the implications of that? I just feel like we should all be studying that, right? Because it's like, how specific could we make that, you know, and could we do it to ourselves? Yeah, the mind is pretty incredible. Wow. Yeah, good for you.
And I watched your last podcast with your experience with the
Bufo.
Bufo. Wow. So
Allie, it was brutal.
So the laws of the universe is for everything that exists, there has to exist an equal opposite. So there's an equally amazing
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That is the best thing I have heard since I've done it. I will say though, because we're all made up of multiple parts, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's one big part of me wants that to know that to be true.
Mm-hmm.
Another part of me goes, what makes me think I know the laws of the universe? You know what I mean? Another part of me goes, does it need to have an equal opposite reaction? That, it's like, I don't know that is true.
I felt so much love in my chest that I felt like I was going to explode, like I was going to levitate off of the ground. It was pulling me up, lifting me up. I couldn't contain it. Like our bodies can't even contain the amount of love that is really out there. Mine couldn't. Like your body can't fathom it.
Yeah, I believe that.
Just like you can't fathom the horrors,
Yeah, exactly, right. And I've heard that people have those experiences, so I know that there's like this blissful dimension, that can be achieved. It's just hard to try to understand it and wrap my head around it, because
you drive yourself crazy trying.
Oh yeah.
To.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like I was telling him the other day. It's like I'm like not meant to be chewing on the biggest problems in humanity, like consciousness. Where does it arise, right? What happens when we die? Is there entities? Is this a simulation? All this, like, it's just too much to chew on, right? I got to go to work. Like you said,
right.
It's like, I don't have time to fucking talk to Ganesh or whatever. It's like, there's just too much going on, but I'm wildly intrigued by it. And I feel like, so that's interesting. I figured you've been doing them all your life or something.
No.
Wow. I love that.
No, I'm 45. I did the first time with the mushrooms at 41.
You don't look a day over 44 and a half.
Thanks. 43, grandmother.
That's
I don't
crazy.
like telling people that. But
yeah. Well, you would have to for them to know because you do not look like a grandma. Not mine anyway. She just got put into a home. You look like you got another 5 years in you at least until they put you away. Yeah. Wow. So are you going to do ayahuasca again?
I do. I want to. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it again too.
I might have to like find a boyfriend or a roommate or something before I can make
to
that
afford
happen.
it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta pick your battles, right?
Yeah.
But no, like I came home after ayahuasca, and within a month had moved into my own place, left the person I was with. Like I dumped my whole life upside down when I came back.
Wow. Did ayahuasca tell you to do so? Oh wow.
Yeah.
Good for you. That's huge. Yeah. I mean, really, that's big, to have that experience is so beautiful to me.
And it was great. I mean, I've met so many cool people that I would have never met, if I hadn't done that. And they're all people that fit into like my interests, and even just like being here with you,
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's like, a cool random thing
I
that
agree.
happens.
Right. And it happened,
Yeah, my people are out there.
Yeah, and it just kind of unfolds. It's not like you have to unfold it.
I don't have to do anything.
You just start trusting the universe more. It's like someone told me that they pictured me as, or they looked at me as like wildly confident, which I'm not, by the way. I'm like terrified up here all the time. But what I said is like, if anything, you're reading my trust in the universe. It's not trust in me. It's just like trust that whatever happens.
I say I trust in the divine unfolding of my life.
There you go. That was way better than how I said it. Cut out what she said and put it when I talk.
Sure, you can AI that somehow.
I'll deepen the voice.
Yeah. Now keep her voice. Put it over my shit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Wow. Well, that's dope. Well, it's been nice meeting you.
You too.
Keep on doing it. How's your daughter? She's still like dabbling? Like is she
No,
a psychonaut?
She's got a 1-year-old now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Damn.
But I have like my mom microdosing.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome generationally. When I went to Peru, there was like a mom and daughter there doing the ayahuasca, which I just thought was beautiful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I want to take my daughter. If I do it again, I'm definitely going to try to take her with me.
I would love to have my mom do it.
I think everyone should do it.
Do you think?
Everyone
That's a question I should have asked you. Do you think everyone? What about the people who are predisposed to like psychological conditions? I know I'm up in the air.
Anyone that passes the
right.
Well, they had like a questionnaire.
Right.
Yeah. Those people should do it.
Yeah, because it's like, I mean, I guess it could drive you crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It could make you go insane permanently, I guess. But I don't think there's like a lethal dose. I don't think you can like overdose
I don't
from
think so.
taking it. Same with like LSD and mushrooms. Like you really can't overdose as far as like eat enough to where you die.
Right.
You could think you're like a glass of orange juice, and then if someone gets too close, you'll be spilled over or something. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Which one do you think has taught you the most?
Oh, the ayahuasca.
The ayahuasca.
Mhm.
Wow.
Most profound, life-changing things.
Definitely.
Everything else after has just been icing on the cake.
Have you been able to have you realized like that doing the other psychedelics after having done the ayahuasca that it's like it has a Venn diagram or there's like any crossover, like as far as like are you able to achieve states with the other psychedelics that are similar to like the
Yes.
ayahuasca? Isn't that so weird?
Yes, even now,
fuck?
like without any drugs, I can get to some of those states.
Mm.
That's been like my whole life since I
Right.
came home is trying to get to those states without any drug,
Right.
and I can.
And you do that through meditation
Mhm.
usually.
And breath work.
Breath work.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the breath is interesting on the ayahuasca because it's like when you're getting a heavy let me speak for myself. When I was getting like a heavy wave of not being right where I was, like the heavy wave of the visuals or something, it's like the only thing I would keep with me is my breath.
Mm.
You know what I mean? When I didn't have like anything else with me and you're like, it's really going on kaleidoscope shit.
Mhm.
It's like the only thing I could connect to was my breath. It was like I didn't exist, but the breath did. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? It was very interesting.
The only thing I had to latch on to.
Yeah, yeah. And breath is this weird thing that like our bodies do and we don't tell it to.
Mm-hmm.
And yet like something as simple as like paying attention to it or being intentional with it
Yes.
can be pretty profound, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, you can get high off breath work.
Mhm.
I mean, for sure. There's like that. There's fire breathing
Yeah.
and the Wim Hof breathing, and
Mhm.
there's fucking. Do you know about Terrence McKenna?
That name sounds familiar.
I'll have to put you on. He's like, he's dead now, but it's not even about breath work. He's a psychedelic guy, but he used to hold these
Okay.
lectures and talk about DMT and the beings he would encounter and the way he's just really good. I think you'd like him, but I'll send you a video of his. But yeah, meditation and breath work. I feel like it's so hard for me to be consistent, even though it's like I know. You know what I do too, Allie, is I'll like I pay for this meditation app, Sam Harris's Waking Up app, and he has like theory on there as well as practice, and I'll consume all the theory, so I don't have to practice. Do you know what I mean? Like I can tell someone why they should meditate for 3 hours,
Mm-hmm.
but I can't meditate. You know what I mean? It's like I can, I just don't do it.
Your body starts talking to you.
Yeah, I bet.
It does.
And like I said, I'm not really in my body. I'm so in my head. So meditation does seem difficult for me, but I'm also aware from all the theory I listen to that like when your mind goes off, just gently pull it back. And that is the practice,
Yes.
right? It's not like you're
That is the
failing at it. That is the practice.
Mhm.
And then I heard this guy, James Lowe, say something today on the app as I was listening to theory. He said that it's not the thought that causes us a problem. It's the apprehension of that thought. The grasping at that thought,
Yeah.
right? So if we just let the thoughts come up and go, then we're not the monkey brain, just chasing every thought that we can.
Right.
Because people don't realize how in their heads they are, until you do a little meditation.
Mhm.
Even just a
Realize
little.
You can't get out of it.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's just like, oh, I'm not even here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, and no one can explain where the thoughts come from, right? These thoughts just arise,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just neat to look at them, if you're able to separate. Because a lot of times people aren't able to separate, but we are not our thoughts.
We are not our thoughts.
Mm. That part.
That part.
Well, yeah. Hey, thanks for coming. It was nice
you.
meeting you. This is fun.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah. All right.